Day 1, lockdown. My mom calls me up. She sounded a little frustrated and irritated and inquired about the application Zoom. She's a teacher in Delhi Public School, Ahmedabad, and obviously because of the lockdown, she was asked to do something she had not done before. She now had to interact with technology more than ever, and she wasn't really comfortable with this. A few days later, she calls me up again. This time, a more happy voice came from the other side, and my mom started inquiring about platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and other such platforms for improving, for upskilling herself. In a span of few days, she had realized that change is the only constant, and she, in order to grow and survive, needed to upskill, needed to change herself as well. And that's why she started exploring a lot of courses where she can improve her teaching methodologies, pedagogies, and how she can be more tech savvy. This is the story of many such teachers across our nation. As the COVID-19 situation evolved, as lockdown took place, more than 300 million kids who went to school in our country were affected, their learnings affected. More than 1.4 million schools which exist in our country, majority of them owned by the government, definitely were affected because of the COVID-19 situation and the lockdown that happened. The new norm today, homes are the new schools, parents are the new teachers, and teachers are the new learners. My name is Ishan Manchanda. I am a mentor at Udacity and a marketing consultant. And today, in this video, we're going to be discussing about the impact of COVID-19 in one of the most important industries of our country, one that creates a base for the future. I'm talking about the schooling industry, which had already adapted to a more digital way of learning. They already had digital classrooms. Their school students and teachers were already used to using technology and internet for day-to-day learnings. These were the schools who benefited the most. Right from day one, they didn't face a lot of trouble. They transformed their classrooms into digital classrooms, assignments, tests, everything started happening online. Daily lectures started happening online. Delhi Public School, Ahmedabad, where my mom teaches, also showed this kind of a progress where class 10th, 11th and 12th, the transformation happened rather very quickly. But of course, for the primary section where the kids are very young, where adult intervention is also required in terms of online classes, the change was a little difficult and is still ongoing. But the most important point here is that adaptability and agility are two things that are very necessary for every business and for every individual. This COVID-19 situation has taught us one thing, that change is inevitable. It is the only constant, and we need to keep upskilling ourselves. We need to keep changing our business models as the world changes. One of such schools was Nahar International from Mumbai. We had a chance to talk to the principal of Nahar International School, Mrs. Vandana Arora, who spared her precious time again for us and gave us certain insights that we didn't know about. So I had the opportunity of asking her a couple of questions.
So in our case, it was quick move for both teachers and students from grade 6 onwards. Since all our students were already well versed with using Google Classroom as a tool to submit assignments, it was easy for us to use that tool to run regular classes. We had to work on creating a policy, clearly defining roles and responsibilities of students, parents and teachers, and in just few weeks, we were able to launch an online learning platform. It was tough though in case of primary classes, as students really young, and allowing them to use technology means engaging with other adults, means parents, which brings expectations, emotions and different perspectives. This is an ongoing work and it will take some time for us. This will surely bring more technology in the classroom. As far as pedagogy is concerned, concept learning approach will surely become more popular among content-centric curriculums. Classrooms will become more democratic and teachers will be one of a learner in the classroom, which means that we will see a movement from teacher-led classroom to learning-centric classrooms. where technology would be a tool of communication. I don't think it will bring much change in teacher-student bond for those teachers who are able to empathize with the emotional needs of the students and move from result-demanding teacher to a motivating and inspiring co-learner. I believe technology as a tool will become popular amongst marginalized sections also. Whether it will make education cheaper or not is a question that time will only give. If governments start investing in technological infrastructure, then it will surely bring quality education at lower cost to a larger numbers. On the other hand, it can also lead to tech giants entering in education with their commercial interest. So I would say that we have to wait and see the situation, and then we'll be able to comment on that. I don't think much will change for the schools which are able to adapt to a more holistic learner-centric approach. Schools which are able to bring more engagement by adopting more of problem solving, critical thinking, skill based learning would definitely going to have an edge over the schools which would still prefer to work with knowledge acquisition as an approach to learning.
As I was saying before, a business, any business which is already adaptive and agile in nature will always benefit in the world that we are living in today. Thank you so much, Ms. Vandana Arora. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sparing your precious time and giving us such beautiful answers, such beautiful insights. I really appreciate it, and thank you once again. Now, coming to what she said and coming to my opinions as a whole on the schooling industry, in the school industry, there is one thing that I need to tell you all. Adaptability and agility are skill sets which even World Economic Forum mentioned in the 21st century skills. If we need a workforce, if we need a future workforce that is ready and drives our country towards positive economic growth, these are one skills that are necessary in each individual. These are characteristics that every business should possess. This is what happened with TCS, right? During the computer revolution, TCS stood, survived and grew into such a big company because they knew what was coming. They invested in future. The same happened with Make My Trip or Book My Show during the internet revolution. They bet on the internet, they bet on the future and see where these companies are today. So this is one important outcome that COVID-19 has actually forced upon. Schooling industry was already going through a lot of change, but yes, definitely considering the demographics of our country, considering how the economic situation of our country, not many schools were going through this transformation. But this COVID-19 situation, as I had mentioned in the previous video as well, acted as a catalyst. Now this change is forced, and to be very honest, this change was very necessary. Education industry, because of the COVID-19 situation, impacted three stakeholders: parents, teachers and students. Students, definitely the small kids in the primary section of the schools are facing the most problem because they are off their routine. They have no idea how to pass time in the all throughout the day, and while they were spending 8-9 hours every day in schools in different daily activities, joining different classes like art, painting, dance, as they all are shut down, these students, these small kids are facing a lot of trouble and they are definitely frustrated. The change in these students is going to happen over time, but definitely will happen very quickly because these millennials, as we call them, are the most tech savvy people. They are better than us, definitely, and we all agree to this. So this change of technology coming into the education system, of internet playing a very important role, and self-learning definitely is going to come into play. Coming to the second stakeholders, which are the parents. Now these parents, especially in metro cities, with their working parents, schools and these daily activities were a support system for them, keeping their kids busy, at the same time helping their kids learn on a daily basis. Now since this has stopped, and since work from home still continues for many of these parents, managing the work-life balance has become a little difficult. But yes, we've heard a lot of stories online on social media where parents are very happy that they're able to work and spend quality time with their kids during this lockdown period. Work from home will be a new norm, definitely. But this transformation for the kids to happen, the parents also have to play a vital role. Now the third stakeholders, these teachers. Teachers come from a variety of backgrounds and variety of demographics. The young teachers definitely who are already tech savvy, who use internet on a daily basis, understand technology, will adapt to this very quickly and have already adapted to this change. They will have an advantage. But teachers like my mom, who have always felt uncomfortable with technology, will also need to upskill and will also need to adapt to this technological transformation that is going to happen. So conclusion from my end is only one thing. Be it the school industry or be it any industry per se, you need to keep on upskilling yourself. This COVID-19 situation has made us understand how the world is right now. And the world is rapidly changing and we cannot avoid it. So such a change, now everybody understands that such changes will keep happening. We didn't expect COVID-19 to happen, but now that it has happened, now we have realized that not just a pandemic, but other changes, other revolutions will keep on happening, and we will always need to survive. We will always need to be prepared for what is going to come ahead. And this will be, and no one will be spared in this whole process. Not the teachers, not the young ones, not the old ones, no one will be spared. So in order to survive, in order to grow in your career, you need to be adaptive and you need to start thinking about what is to come in the future. Now finally, to end this video, I just want to talk about one section of the society which makes up the majority of our population. I'm talking about the society, the marginalized section of the society which is not economically stable. They have been affected a lot. The kids are not getting the day meals they used to get as they went to schools, in government schools. The technological infrastructure was not available with these schools, definitely, and that's why the learning has stopped. But this is where the government is going to come in. This change will also make the government realize that certain actions need to be taken in terms of education, in terms of this industry, especially in the rural areas. The internet penetration is going to be approximately 84% by the end of 2024. Now this point needs to be capitalized upon. The government, just like Aam Aadmi Party from Delhi, they had already proposed a 100 crore budget for digital transformation of their classrooms, and this is just one example, and I'm very sure the government is now going to start focusing on digital transformation, the change in learning patterns, more conceptual learning curriculum will now be introduced even in the in government schools. The government schools in Delhi are a good example of this change which had already started taking place in the past 2-3 years. So this is all from my side. Please comment below if you have any of your opinions. If you want to add something that I missed, make sure you comment below. Like this video, share this video with as many people as you can, and thank you so much.